Hi, my name is Hal Runkle, and I want to welcome you to the Master Program for ScreamFree Parenting. I also want to welcome you into my kitchen. I wanted to film this here because this is where so much of my parenting journey happened, as yours has happened in your kitchen. This is the place where my wife and I began to kind of hash out the ScreamFree parenting principles. This is the way we practiced things that we heard other parents doing, tried things, failed at things. This is where my kids in many ways grew up. And so I wanted this experience to be as real as possible for you and me as we go through this together. Because this is just a conversation. It's a conversation between one parent and another. And instead of teaching you everything that I know as a professional, as a licensed marriage and family therapist, I want this experience to be more like sharing some things that we've learned over the years in practicing this, in terms of teaching this to others, and more what other parents like you have taught us over the years. So, welcome to my kitchen. I hope this experience is as warm and welcoming for you as possible, because I think I know why you're here. At least I'd like to take a guess. That the reason why you're here participating in this program is because you absolutely love your kids. You love them to death. You want nothing but the best relationships with them. You love your kids. But if you're honest, and certainly like I felt a lot of times, you love your kids, but you don't always love being a parent to your kids. And I think we can say that. I think we can be honest enough to say that, because parenting is ridiculously hard. It's one of the most difficult tasks, if not the most difficult task, we'll ever undertake in life. And the stakes are so high about what might happen if we fail, but also our hopes are so high for what we really want. We want amazing relationships with our kids. We want a calmer, happier life, calmer, happier home life with our kids. We want our kids to have great memories of their childhoods. And hopefully, these principles and the application of these principles and the stories that we're going to share from other parents and other stuff that my wife and I have tried right here in this room, hopefully all of that will give you a renewed sense of hope that, you know what, you can do this, that you are capable, more capable than you think, even in those dark times, even when you've blown it. One of the things I definitely want you to know about me is that I am not naturally scream-free. I am not a naturally calm person. I'm actually quite reactive. My default is to get reactive. And that's really what we mean by screaming. It's not just yelling out loud, although it definitely is that or can be that. But not everybody screams out loud like that. What it is any kind of emotional reactivity. It's allowing the heat of the moment to get the best of you, so that instead of pausing and choosing to respond rather than react, you're just reacting. Letting the moment get the best of you, get the best of me, and we blurt out something we swore we would never say, or we end up sounding like our dad or our mom, and we never were going to sound like them, or we do things to our kids that we regret, all in that heat of the moment. And that's why we call it scream-free. Is what we've discovered is the path to having that life that we want, that family life we wish to create, is by learning to calm that emotional reactivity. Is it easy? No. I believe it is simple, and so much of what we're going to discuss, the principles that we teach, I think are rather simple, maybe even sometimes come across as simplistic, but it's definitely not easy. It's kind of like, yes, it's simple how to lose weight. You just need to move more and eat less, but that is certainly not easy. Well, parenting is the same way, and scream-free parenting is the same way, and that what we're going to teach, you can do. It will be difficult, but I promise you, it's going to be easier than what most of us are trying to do right now, which is we're trying to control our kids to make them behave well so that our anxiety never has to get high. Because as long as they're behaving well, then I can be calm. But that's not real life, and I got to tell you the truth, and we'll talk more about this later, but I don't want your kids to be perfectly behaved. Perfectly behaved kids really kind of frighten me. And we'll talk about that later. But also, it's just not the way life happens. And it's certainly not the way life happens for me. It's not the way it happened for me. I am not naturally scream-free. My default is to get reactive, and parenting will bring that out like nothing else. And it did for me right from the very beginning.